We always begin with gratitude. So I want to thank you for being here and for doing whatever it is you needed to be here and to show up here. I am so honored to have your presence and energy in this space, and I hope that you're allowing yourself to be wherever you are. I'm LA, and I'm a holistic wellness therapreneur, and I am the creator of this channel, Reconnect with You. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. If my vibe and energy or any of the contents of this channel resonate with you, please remember to do the big three: like, share, and subscribe. I will be posting videos on Sundays for #Solitude Sunday to start off the week with some good vibes. This channel has a primary focus on wellness and will include sound baths, affirmations, tips for different aspects of wellness, and short talks focused on you and your relationship with yourself, which is the foundation for all of your other relationships. So, are you ready to reconnect with you? If so, come on in, get comfortable, whatever getting comfortable looks and feels like for you. Before we get started today, I want to give you a brief overview of our time together today, which is also found in the description box below. I'm going to begin with a short sound bath, then I'm going to pull an affirmations card, which contains a message for the collective. Then I will transition into doing my talk, and then I will close with a prompt for journaling or reflection for you to meditate on after our time together today. For today's sound bath, I will be using a crystal quartz singing bowl in the musical key or note of G. This note corresponds to the throat chakra. The throat chakra focuses on self-expression, communication, and creativity. I'm going to give you all a brief moment to get into your meditation position, get into a comfortable seated position, or to lie down if you prefer that. You can also put in some headphones at this time for an optimal sound experience. Let's begin. I express myself in the most authentic way. I can speak up for myself. I communicate clearly. And I use my voice without fear. My voice is important and must be heard. Thank you so much for joining me for that short sound bath. Next, I am going to pull an affirmations card for the collective. All right. So what affirmation does the collective need? What affirmation does the collective need? All right, 2 more shuffles. What affirmation does the collective need? All right. So we have, I find a deeper meaning in personal growth amid the discomfort. Feel free to take a screenshot of that affirmation. So I am not sure who that affirmation or that message was for, but if it resonates with you, I encourage you to take it however it resonates. Today's topic is what I learned from giving a TEDx talk. So I want to express gratitude and say thank you again to everyone who nominated me, who took the time to watch my talk, everyone who showed up in person, my Speak Up Toastmasters family, and for everyone who helped me prepare for the talk in any way. For those of you who don't know this, I gave a TEDx talk on the last day of Black History Month during a leap year on February 29th of 2020. This was such a monumental moment in my life. If you haven't tuned in yet or want to watch it again, the link for my talk is down below in the description box. I want to share with you 5 things that I learned from giving a TEDx talk. The first thing that I learned is about differences. Remember that when you experience something, you get to tell the story from your point of view. You're telling the story based off of how you experienced it. Remember that it's your story, and you get to tell your story in the way that you experience something in whatever way you would like to. Also remember that you and someone can be impacted by the same event and have a very different experience. When I say different experience, I mean that the way that you're impacted or not impacted, or even the way that you tell the story, might be very different. Number 2, I learned the importance and the meaning of courage. Doing my TEDx talk was one of the most public displays of courage that I have ever partaken. To get on a stage in a room full of people, most of which I don't know, and talk about one of the most traumatic things that I have ever experienced, and not care about what people think about it. Having courage is something that you practice and you can strengthen over time. In fact, having the courage to give my TEDx talk helped me to have courage in other situations that I've experienced. The third thing that I learned is that I don't think this is something that I learned. I think it was something that I was reminded of, and that is manifestation works. And what do I mean by manifestation? Some people use the term manifestation, some people say, prayer, basically bringing something that you desire to fruition. And there are so many different ways that you can manifest. But one of the most powerful ways to manifest is through writing and through the words that you use, the things that you say. So I wrote in my journal a couple years before I actually gave my TEDx talk that I was gonna give a TED talk on solitude. I actually wrote that in my journal. I also put a post up on Facebook, I believe a year before I gave my talk, saying that I was going to give a TED talk. I didn't know when it was going to happen, but I knew that I wanted to, and I knew that it was going to happen. So the universe conspired to make it happen. The fourth thing that I learned is related to how giving the talk impacted my healing journey. One of the things about the particular story that I told in my talk is that I had to revisit some very painful experiences. I did a lot of journaling and reflection leading up to the talk and to prepare for it. And this process really helped me to better understand how I was impacted and why I was impacted in that way, and also to help me to kind of see my way forward, and for me to be able to use my experience to help someone else. And so in order to do that, I kind of had to go back and figure out, well, how did I experience this thing? How did I overcome this very challenging experience? The fifth and final thing that I want to share with y'all that I learned is that not everyone is going to understand your vision or the path that you're on. And in fact, some people might straight up be against it. I won't go into too much detail about what exactly my talk was, because I really do want y'all to watch it and rewatch it if you've watched it already. Before giving my talk, I contacted my family members individually because I didn't want my talk, or the topic rather, to be a surprise to them. And I wanted them to find out about it from me. After I did what I thought was right and what I truly believed and felt aligned with my personal values and who I am authentically, I stood firm on my decision. I said I'm done making myself small and holding myself back based on what other people want or out of consideration for their feelings while neglecting my own. Those are the 5 things that I learned from giving a TEDx talk. If you are preparing for a TED or TEDx talk and you have some questions or would like some guidance, I am available for consultations. You can see my contact information in the description box below. For those of you who are new here, I always end each talk with a prompt for reflection or journaling. And the reason why I do that is just because I want y'all to have something to ground yourself in and something to kind of meditate on after you watch the video. The reflection or journaling prompt that I have for y'all is, if you were to give a TED talk, what story would you tell? And how would you tell that story? What would be the focus of your talk? So that is the journaling or reflection prompt that I have for y'all for today. Well, that is what I have for y'all for today. I look forward to connecting with y'all again soon. But in the meantime, reconnect with you. Namaste.